Yo, what's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel. So let's get straight into it. The day has finally come. Some of you guys don't understand how excited I am to make this video. We now know the draft order. Now y'all, I know there's gonna be a ton of new people watching this because my last draft video low-key blew up, and I believe it's the best video that I've ever made on my channel. Scratch that, this video is gonna take its spot and become the best. So as I said in my intro, if you're new and you like NBA videos, subscribe to this NBA channel. Okay, now with all that out of the way, let's for real get straight into the mock. So the Phoenix Suns got the well-deserved #1 overall pick this year, after getting finessed these last few years. Now the Suns are currently in need of a few positions. At the point guard and center spot, they got questions to answer. At the center position, they got Dragon Bender, and we literally don't know how that man will turn out. And they also got Alex Len, and he don't really look like a center to roll with for the future if you want to be successful. And of course they got Tyson Chandler. That man is just too damn old to be able to roll with this team for the long run. So with all that being said, with the first pick in the NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns select DeAndre Ayton. This just makes too much sense for it to not happen. The Suns have a huge question at the center spot, and I believe DeAndre Ayton is their answer. Devin Booker, their franchise player, said that this should be the last year that the Suns don't make the playoffs. He wants to start winning right now. I don't know if they can reach the playoffs next year because that's going to be extra tough, but DeAndre Ayton is going to lure them closer to their goals. This dude DeAndre Ayton has superstar potential written all over him. To have a build like that and to be this skilled of a scorer who has a smooth jumper, a good post game, and is mobile, it's just insane. I believe Ayton is unpassable in this draft. The only real concern about him is his defense. You look at this dude and you automatically think to yourself, no way in hell that this dude is bad at defense. Well, yeah, he's actually a bad defender. He has all the physical tools to dominate at that end. He's 7'1", 250 with a 7-foot wingspan, and he's athletic as hell. But he just decides not to play defense, and he's not really dedicated to that side of the floor. But on to the next pick. With the second pick in the NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Luka Doncic. Luka is a 19-year-old overseas player who's been playing professional basketball since he was 16 years old. Luka's strengths are his passing vision, ball handling, scoring ability, and IQ. Luka low-key really doesn't have a defined position yet in the NBA. He's one of those. He could play the point guard, shooting guard, and even the small forward position. Bro, the draft gods absolutely blessed the Sacramento Kings. This second pick came in clutch for them. Luka would be a terrific fit alongside De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron is better at attacking the rim and he's crazy quick, and Luka would feed off of his playstyle really well. Now, I think Luka would play the small forward position if he gets drafted to Sacramento, because the Kings already have a great two guard in Bogdanovic. There's two Bogdanoviches in the league. There's one who plays with the Pacers and of course the Kings. And to be honest, I just know one of them is named Bogdan. And if the guy on the Kings' first name isn't Bogdan, then you know what I'm trying to say. So Luka could play the small forward spot in Sacramento, but I'm not sure if he'd be 100% comfortable there. But regardless of what Sacramento decides to do and where to play him, they're going in the right direction. A duo of Luka Doncic and De'Aaron Fox is going to raise hell for opposing defenses. With the third pick in the NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Jaren Jackson Jr. If you guys been with me for a minute, you should know that I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan. So that means my NBA life as a fan has been really depressing. Atlanta really hasn't had a franchise player since like the 80s and 90s, my boy. Literally, just about every other team in the NBA has had a franchise type player on their roster. The Brooklyn Nets, Darren Williams, the 76ers, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. The Sacramento Kings, DeMarcus Cousins, and now they finna get Luka Doncic. The Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker, now they finna get DeAndre Ayton too. You see what I'm saying? Like, why we gotta be left out? So I believe the Hawks should take Jaren Jackson Jr. Now before you Hawks fans spaz out, let me tell you why. I swear to y'all, man, I believe Jaren Jackson Jr. is the most slept on lottery pick. Why, you may ask? Well, it's probably because he didn't throw out eye-popping stats in college. He only averaged 11 and 6 in 22 minutes of play, and he only attempted about 6 shots per game in college, and nearly half of those attempts were threes. So he really didn't get a bunch of opportunity because he'd often put himself in foul trouble, and that would limit his minutes. But if we take a look at his skill set, his game perfectly translates into the NBA today. Jaren Jackson Jr. is the best defender and three-point shooting big in this draft. He shot nearly 40% from 3 this year on nearly 3 attempts per game. He completely blows out every other big in the lottery, and that includes DeAndre Ayton and Marvin Bagely in that category. So not only does his shooting stand out, but this man is an absolute terror defensively. Jaren has a knack for defense. He averaged 3 blocks a game in just 22 minutes of play this year. So he's also one of the best rim protectors in this draft. And even if he's away from the rim, he still still has an ultra positive effect on defense because he can guard smaller players extremely well due to his mobility. So in two of the biggest, most important aspects of today's NBA, Jaren Jackson excels at shooting threes and defense. Jaren Jackson is also a really underrated passer as well. He's literally every single thing you'd want out of your starting center in today's NBA. The Hawks should really consider Jaren Jackson Jr. So right now the Hawks only really have two players who are going to be a part of our long-term plan, since Dennis Schroeder is kind of acting like a hoe right now. Kidding. But yeah, anyways, one of the players that are going to be a part of our future long term is John Collins. And John could really use Jaren Jackson Jr.'s defensive presence along his side because John himself isn't really a strong defender. So these two would feed off of each other extremely well on offense and defense since Jaren can shoot that three. This front court right here could do serious damage in the NBA in a few years to come. So to the Atlanta Hawks, I'm gonna tweet y'all this video. And if you actually watch it, first off, send your boy some tickets for the culture. Nah, for real though, like for real, send me some tickets. But seriously, Jaren Jackson Jr. is the way to go. He's only 18 years old. Me and him are the same age. He's one of the youngest players in this draft. His potential is out the roof. And to be real, I'm not gassing him up or anything, but I can see this man averaging something like 15-8 or 15-7 in his first year in the NBA with more opportunity given to him. That's all I'm gonna say about him, man. Hawks fans, if you still don't want Jaren Jackson Jr., you sleep. You so sleep, bro. With the 4th pick in the NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Marvin Bagely. Now, originally like 6, 7, 8 months ago, Marvin was viewed as the #1 overall pick. But since then, he slowly started falling back in everyone's rankings. And now to most people, he's viewed as the 3rd or 4th, just like me, best player in this draft. Bagely has dropped in most people's rankings for multiple reasons. He got an inconsistent jumper and he's a bad defender. Now, I ain't gonna lie, those things could be fixed if he goes to the Grizzlies. Because the Grizzlies are a defensive-minded team and Marc Gasol would surely help him out a lot at the end of the floor. And plus his high mortar could probably carry on to the defensive end as well. The Grizzlies would be stoked if they could get Bagely because of his explosiveness, athleticism, and ball handling ability. He'd be an amazing fit next to Marc Gasol. With the 5th pick in the NBA draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Mohamed Bamba. The Mavericks have started off their rebuilds pretty strong with that Dennis Smith Jr. pick. That boy is going to be a stud. But this time around though, I think the Mavericks are going to be looking for a big. Because as we speak right now, Salah Mejri is their best center. Oh, fuck! Because the Nerlens Noel trade ended up being a complete flop. So they're in need of a big. And Mo Bamba may be the way to go. Mo was a 6'11 big with nearly an 8-foot wingspan. Dude built like a demigod on 2K. So Bamba's play style is exactly what you'd expect it to be. He's a good finisher around the rim. He's not really an eye-catching fancy scorer. But on the defensive end with his length, he's sending all shots that come his way all the way back to Wakanda. He's that good of a rim protector. It's just a natural instinct for him. One thing that's really eye-catching about his game though is his jump shot. Bamba shot 68% from the free throw line this year. That gives us a sign that he has a really strong chance of becoming a shooter one day. In college, he shot 27% from 3 out of the 51 attempts. As time goes on, he should have a consistent jumper. And I can see that part of his game being a vital piece for the Dallas Mavericks going into the future. With the 6th pick in the NBA draft, the Orlando Magic selects Trae Young. This makes too much sense for it to not happen. The Magic are in desperate need for a point guard. Currently, they got that man DJ Augustine running the show. So I'm 110% sure that Trae Young will be their pick. So hopefully Trae Young can help turn that ship around in Orlando. I believe Trae will have a positive effect on the court with the Magic day one because of the burner that man got on his right arm. And if they keep Aaron Gordon, Orlando could be cooking something up in the pot. That could surprise us in a few years. With the 7th pick in the NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls select Micheal Porter Jr. The Bulls are just a piece or two away from completing their rebuilding process. They have a great all-around point guard in Chris Dunn, an elite scorer in Zach LaVine, and also one of the more surprising picks from last year's draft, Lauri Markkanen, who is a sharpshooting forward. So adding Micheal Porter Jr. to that thing, if he ends up developing well and stays healthy, without a doubt in my mind, I'm sure the Bulls will have one of the best offenses in the NBA in a few years to come, if Micheal turns out to be what he's advertised as. You see, I think Micheal has the potential to be as good as anyone in this draft, but it all depends on his back and how healthy he is. We really didn't get a chance to see him play at 100% in college. There's still questions about his lack of vision, his ability to dribble, and his defense. He's gonna turn out to be either one of these two things. Either he's gonna be really freaking good, or he's gonna be a complete disappointment. He's the biggest question in this draft. With the 8th pick in the NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers selects Micheal Bridges. Micheal is a 6'7" wing with a ridiculous 7-foot wingspan. He's seen as one of the best defenders and three-point shooters in this draft. Micheal's game translates perfectly in today's NBA. He's lengthy enough to guard 3s and some 4s in the league, and he's also quick enough to guard point guards and shooting guards. He's the prototypical 3-and-D player. And on the Cavs, he'd be a perfect fit next to LeBron James, if LeBron doesn't decide to go to Philly, of course. but I can see Micheal Bridges being the starting small forward or shooting guard for this team for a very long time. With the 9th pick in the NBA draft, the New York Knicks select Wendell Carter Jr. Now the Knicks are in dire need of a good big next to Kristaps Porzingis, and I believe Wendell is their guy. He's a 6'10", 260 center with a great overall game. He can shoot the three really well, he's a good defender, a great rebounder, and he's also a good passer as well. He's a really good center with a great all-around game. He's one of those rare stretch fives in the NBA who can do a little bit of everything. He kind of reminds me of my boy Al Horford. The only real question about Carter is if he can defend the perimeter well. But overall, I think he'd be a great pick for the Knicks. Now, some Knicks fans could be saying, what about Enes Kanter? Look, in my opinion, if the Knicks want to start winning, they gotta find Porzingis a better defensive center. That man Enes Kanter don't play a lick of defense. So Wendell Carter Jr. should be what New York is looking for. With the 10th pick in the NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Miles Bridges. Now, I know for a fact the 76ers would rather have Micheal Bridges rather than Miles Bridges. I don't think Micheal is gonna last that long in the draft boards. The next best option for them, in my opinion, would be Miles Bridges. Miles is a 6'6", 6'7" forward who is a great rebounder, and he has the versatility to play either the 4 or 3 spot in the NBA. He's an overall good shooter, and I can see him playing alongside Ben Simmons, off of the bench of course. Miles is a really interesting player. I personally believe that he could be better than what others make him out to be, but that's just how I feel. So yeah, this is the end of the video. I forgot to mention that I'm only doing the top 10 picks because I don't think anybody would have the time to sit down and watch a 3-month-long video about me talking about the draft lottery. I've been on this camera for a minute now, but this is my official mock. A lot of things could change until we reach draft night. Random news could come out about certain players not being healthy and all this other stuff. Luka could end up going #1 overall in the draft, or he might not even enter the draft at all, because that's also news about him saying he might not want to join the NBA just yet. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be a part of this draft. He's going to enter. So many things could go down. All I want to say before I end this video is that I believe Jaren Jackson Jr. is the most slept on player in this draft. We want Bagley. What? Are you stupid? Bagley is what we need. I get right with you. What did I tell you? Watch the whole video before you start talking crazy.
No way, no way. Remember back when I couldn't get a play. No home, I ain't have a place to stay. I got to work, made the shirt free to way. Told my girl who'd ever thought.